Look, yo. Seem like they love things and they use people. Feel like I don't belong cause it's too evil. I know I'm near the top like a church steeple, but they say it ain't no room like a two-seater. They tell me go and get it, don't be too eager. I came up having less portions to me. Everything I do.
Well, I'm here with one of Richmond's heavy hitters, Noah O.
What's up,
It's
sir?
a pleasure to be here with you. I'm glad you took
thank
time
y'all
out for us. I see you've been real busy with a lot of your shows you've been doing, especially the last one you've been promoting is called Raw. Can you explain to us what Raw actually is?
So Raw, like, once a month, we're gonna start putting on like shows, not really showcases, but I want to take like a lot of the acts from this area, really from throughout this region, and just give them a platform, but not in a showcase format. They're not competing. It's really just giving the guys out there that's grinding, that got a good work ethic, a platform and a way to build their fans. So that's Raw is the next one. Then we got one lined up for in March, and the headliner is going to be this guy Karma. He's part of a collective called Goth Money. So every month we're just putting together like just a strong show with a lot of dope acts.
Yeah, I see you put a guy named Cat Cadillac.
Cadillac Cat. He's another cat. He's an artist and a producer. He's just dope. Like, we linked up. He's like somebody. He told me he like looked up to me in the music, here, as far as like the music community here, but he like respecting my work, respect my music, and it surprised me because like a lot of his stuff is like real turned up, like trap, turned up music, but I didn't know like my last few projects have been like real soulful, like introspective, like real boom bap, East Coast type hip hop, but he just shows you like my music is speaking to people regardless if they make that same music. But he actually produces like not only like trap and like down south, but he produces like that type of music as well. So we're working on a joint EP. It's gonna kind of be a balance of both. It's gonna have me over some of that production and then him on some tracks like rapping as well. So
I've seen last week you did a little reunion for Cheats. Cheats movement down here. Richmond's a big movement down here. Shout out to Cheats, by the way.
Yeah, shout out Cheats.
I love what he's doing. If it wasn't for him, I probably would do what I'm doing.
Oh man.
Tell me about the Cheats movement.
Cheats movement, like really like probably about 4 years ago, like Cheats was a photographer, or he still is a photographer, but he just started showing up to all these like rap events, all these hip hop events, and he would take pictures and just send us the pictures, and he would put his logo on it. So pretty soon, there were a lot of artists posting these pictures with this logo. So he took that and translated, or like moved that into actually creating a blog, and then from the blog he's created a podcast. And then now he's throwing events. So he's like throwing like a lot of events. Some of them will just have like the artists from this region, or really from all over, because he'll have people from New York and DMV, and he'll have some shows where he'll have like headlining like famous acts. So Cheats has been like a real big component as far as like bringing the Richmond, like helping create infrastructure for like the Richmond and Virginia hip hop scene. So it's not just like he just writes about it. Like he's taking the guys that he looks at that are moving, and he's helping put money in our pockets, create opportunities, and just move like to create a real scene, create fans, not just us performing amongst each other. So shout out to Cheats and the whole team, Big Rich, Gigi, all y'all, man.
Well, let's start off with your name, man. I see doing Noah O for the Rain Project. You seem to use a lot of biblical references, especially in the song Matthews. You definitely went back to like a biblical, more structured song. Can you explain how that influenced you into your name and into your music?
Yeah. So my parents named me Noah. Obviously, for those who don't know, Noah is like, it's a story in the Bible. It's also in the Quran, also in the Torah. Some people say like Noah's a prophet. So my parents, as I got older, especially I got into music, my father was just like, yo, you gotta, like, we named you Noah because there were like dark times in our family, and so with your birth, we looked at you like you were bringing like a renewal. to our family, and as far as like the future we wanted for our family. So, you know, as I got older, I just thought about that, and I always wanted to create a project, and really that's what the Rain was supposed to be, was like a project where I would kind of take the Noah's Ark story and like put it over my life, but and be able to translate it through hip hop. So if, like, if you listen to the Rain specifically, it's the story of Noah's Ark as my story.
Right.
So if you listen to the album at the beginning, you know, the story of Noah's Ark, it was darkness in the world, then God used the rain to cleanse the world from evil, and then at the end, you know, God says he's gonna never do that again. It would be like a new, never destroy the world with rain again. So that's what the album is about. It's like the dark, from the dark to the light. But as far as like Matthew, if you listen to Matthew, I kind of took a Bible verse. I took a Bible verse and broke it down and made it into the hook. So like that's real, it's real important to me. You know, I wouldn't call myself, like, I'm definitely not a gospel rapper or a Christian rapper. I just make music, but I do believe in God. My faith is important to me. So, you know, subconsciously, if you listen to my music, like, you'll hear that, like, you know, just the effect that has on my life, or even me trying to make sense of like this world and my life and still have some sense of right and wrong, you know, in my music. So, and the Matthew is just saying basically, like, you know, on earth is in heaven. Like, I'm trying to create perfection and peace in my life. And I also know, like, I've lost a lot of friends, I've lost a lot of family. You know, we're here in front of my man's mural. Like, this is one of my close friends and also a mentor. So it's basically saying, like, no matter what happens, even after you leave this earth, like, it doesn't really matter. I believe we go back to like where we originally are from. Like this world and the things of this world, jewelry, clothes, like none of this really means nothing. It's good to enjoy it like toys while we're here, but at the end of the day, I believe I'm gonna see everybody I love, so I try not to let too much here bother me, you know what I mean?
Cool. All right. So on the Rain project, you got this track called Then It's Cold.
Oh yeah,
One of my favorite tracks on the project.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like that
cold.
cool G rap, the way your cadence and everything, the way you came in, it definitely grabbed my attention.
Yeah.
So what was the influence behind that track, Then It's Cold?
Dennis Coles, for those who don't know, Dennis Coles is actually Ghostface Killer of Wu-Tang Clan's government name. So when I first heard the beat, it reminded me of something Ghostface would rap on. And then my man, his girlfriend at the time, like, he said she had gotten his car. I think he just washed his car, might have put like Armor All or something on the seats. And she told him like, yo, what you do? This that Thrill Ride seat leather. Like, that's what she told him. So he called me, he was like, yo, man, she just, when she said it, it sounded like Ghostface took over her body. That's something Ghostface said. He used these wild analogies. He's like, you gotta use that. So, you know, I just stored it in my mind. So when I heard the beat, I just started saying Thrill Ride seat leather. Like, I just started saying that phrase, and it just turned into the hook. So I actually, when I wrote the rap, I was thinking like, how would Ghostface attack the track?
Right, but then
so,
recently, I seen that you put out a record with a Daytona 500 track on it.
Yeah, that was like, yeah. So like when we performed it, shout out to DJ Mentos. Mentos produced all of the Rain. And
so on your Rain project, you worked with DJ Mentos, the Fresh Maker.
Yeah, man.
How was it working with DJ Mentos?
It's awesome, man. Like, Mentos, like, me and Mentos met through the Cheats Movement blog. Okay. Like, I went and did an interview or went up there to freestyle one day, and he's like, yo, I produced too. He started sending me beats, and I made the song Raindrops like months before the rest of the album, but once we sat down, he gave me like a folder of beats. I ended up like picking the rest of the beats, and I recorded the project in like 2 days. Okay. So it's like his sound, when I'm ready to make like that type of hip hop, the style that he's great at, like, man, he's a great producer. He's also he builds websites and does graphic design. So my man Jody Stark shot the picture, but Mentos did all the artwork. Okay. So like I put up a Dennis Coles cover recently. Right, yeah, like he did that. Yeah, he's incredible. Like he just gets it. Like he gets branding. So like as we were going into the project, like he not only did he produce it, but visually he helped like get the point across too. So yeah, man, like you want that real hip hop. You know, it's all real hip hop, but you want a certain sound. Go listen to The Rain. He got that, man. Y'all need to holler at him.
Right.
DJ Mentos.
It's still speaking on the Rain project. You have a skit there talking. I don't want to get his name wrong. It's a little cut.
Nah, I said cuz, like, you know, out here they say cuz, but like, you know, Virginia's the South, so sometimes to be country, people just say, hey, cuz, like, and cut the Z off or S, hey, cuz.
Okay. So you explain that that skit you put on. Why you put that skit on it?
So like in the song, the last song on the album is called I'm Around. In the song, I break down, I'm like telling the story in one part, and I say, I got a call from Lil Cuz. He said he's about to hit the streets. I told him that I love him, gotta stay up out the heat. It seemed like all summer it's a murder every week. It's hard to think laying beats if bodies laying under sheets. So like, that's a family member of mine. And you know, unfortunately he's incarcerated. So in the skit, I'm actually talking to him on the phone, telling him that I've talked about him in a verse. And I'm just reminding him that, like, you know, you say you about to come home back into the world, you gotta just stay out the way, man. Like, it's hard for me to concentrate on music sometimes. You know, my friends and people don't know me, like, they think I just rap 24/7, that I don't like live a real life. But it's like, nah, I got friends and family, you know, that I care about, people who might not rap, who might not be in the same lifestyle I'm in. And I just try to be an example, or, you know, just be there for them. At least if, you know, I have a voice to tell them some words of encouragement, or just tell them stay out the way, because, you know, living in the streets, street life is going to lead them down one of only a couple paths, man. So just a reminder to him, and also to encourage him while he's locked up, let him know, like, yo, even though you're here, I still think about you, I still love you, I still care about you, you know?
Right, okay. So we're gonna go back to the previous project. You chose to use the word Monument Ave for the name of the project. I don't really know much about the Richmond area, but I heard Monument Ave is like more of the statues, the history of Richmond. Why did you choose Monument Ave for the name of that project?
That's a good question. The producer of Monument Avenue is a guy named Taylor Whitelow. He's actually in DC now, but he wanted to create a whole project together, and that's the name he came up with. Okay. So like in the Richmond area, Monument Avenue, it's a famous street. Like, they had marathons go down the street, had millions of homes, $1 million homes, but it also has all of the statues from the Confederacy, like they're war heroes. So Richmond, you know, Richmond was the capital of the Confederacy during the Civil War. So there's people in Richmond to this day who say, like, you know, Monument Avenue, those statues shouldn't be there. This is celebrating slavery, racism, and everything that Richmond and Virginia and the South stood for in the past. But then there's also a statue of Arthur Ashe, who, you know, being a descendant of slaves, went on to become and fight like racism by playing tennis. He was one of the first. He played in South Africa when they had apartheid. Like, so it's like a contradiction where it looks beautiful, but if you dig beneath the beauty, why are these statues here? So it's like, it was our way to comment on this place where we live in a city that's like, it's an artistic city, very creative, but it also has this past that to this day, like, it affects things. So it's just about, you know, Richmond and like the things we've seen, trying to be, you know, young minorities creating art, but with this still like kind of spirit lingering over the city. So
Right. Okay.
What I expect, I mean, I'm really hopeful about the future. There's a lot of dope artists. You know, you got artists from Virginia and from Richmond specifically that have gotten signed recently. People that are making moves. So I'm really hopeful about the future. I believe, like, my team, especially, and some of the people I work with, and even cats that I'm not working with, like, there's a lot of people who are hungry right now and are serious about not just rapping, but about creating the infrastructure for us to be successful. Whether it's like, you know, they're rapping or doing music or like shooting like independent films. There's a lot of creative people here right now, I think, who want more. You know, I'm not not just being satisfied with like doing the same things over and over, but constantly trying to push the culture forward, push and create fans, create bigger platforms, create dialogue on how to get better. How do we do it? I know for me, my goal is to remain independent, so as much as I can do on my own. When I say remain independent, I mean like I want control of my material, you know, and for real, whatever situation comes, as long as it makes sense, you know, I had to sit down and look at it. But my main goal when I say that is right now my focus is on just being consistent with my music and my branding and my team, so we can be successful. If we can be successful, make, you know, $10,000, that can convince somebody that they can trust me with 100,000. Like, right. You know, I just want to. That's where my focus is at. Not like creating music and going and trying to get signed, because really that doesn't. It's not. That's not what's going on in hip hop right now. You know, people who are higher up, they look at your views, they look at your plays, they look at your movement. So I'm not, when I say that, I'm just like, I'm not making music for the industry. I'm making music the best I can for the people who like my stuff, and I just want to grow that, you know. Right. If it leads to somewhere where somebody who's, you know, has that big bag with my name on it, man, you know, that y'all could call me, we could talk. It's not like, oh, I just want to stay underground. Like, nah, man.
You understand that, yeah.
We just got a lot of work to do, and I don't fool myself. So if you a rapper, especially, if you're not working that hard, don't fool yourself, man. You got a lot of hard work to do. It's people I know, like, as many good things have come for me, like, it's people working harder, and that's the people. I got to just keep going. Like, I'm not resting, you know, just on that.
Keep my head to the sky, both eyes on the clouds. I'm around. Yo. Working 80-hour weeks, feeling like I don't sleep.
Music, at the end of the day, I believe like hip hop is a tool for communication. It's a tool for, like, you know, to empower people, to teach people things, and also to enjoy. You know, I'm just trying to use my music, really be an extension of myself and how I carry myself on a daily basis in life. I just want to use my music to bring people together, you know, to help people. So like, we live in a world right now, there's a lot of things separated, and you know, there's a lot of people who profit from separating people and like showing the divide between people. Like me, I'm using it in a way where I just want to spread love. So like, if people are there, you know, hearing my music, like saying, build with people, build a mutuality, a common, you know, we have a common understanding. That's what it's about at the end of the day. Like, I might not look like you, I might not have grown up like you, but I want to use my music to bring people together, all different races, cultures, you know, and also help people. Like, you might not understand the things I understand. I know music can be a way that I can communicate to them versus just talking to them and trying to, you know, preach to them or like show them how to do X, Y, and Z. I can do that a lot easier through music and be an example. So just trying to be consistent, man.
You're definitely doing it here, man. I appreciate what you do.
Nah, thank you. Appreciate y'all coming down
here for the interview, man. Yeah, man. You're the reason why I'm here, man.
Nah, thank y'all. Shout out to everybody, man. Charged up. Go get the rain. Culture shock coming soon. Dead peace, man.
Bodies laying under sheets. My homie just died. We was tight since we